Hey everybody, welcome back to Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage. So, this is about a week or so after I actually recorded the first episode. And, I mean, there's really no other reason just because, I mean, I did explain it fairly clear in my LP poll 2 results video. So if you haven't seen that, I will put a link in the description, so you can click on that and find out which game won. I mean, it's probably pretty clear, but all right. So let's talk to Laura.
Spyro, this is the homeworld called Summer Forest. There are portals to many of the Avalar worlds around here. Unfortunately, Ripto has taken over the castle, and we need your help. Start by retrieving the talismans from each of the worlds you go to.
Alright, we'll do then. Oh, excuse me there. Okay, so when it comes to so very similar to the first Spyro game. There's a bunch of different hub worlds, and within each of them there's several other worlds in between. And also, just like it, there's obviously treasure or gems. I might still call them gems because that's what they were in the first, right? Or no, it was just called treasure, and this one's gems. I don't know, but anyways. Oh, wait.
Hiya, Spyro. Ripto smashed this bridge, so I guess you'll have to glide across it. Press X to jump, then press X again while you're still in the air to glide.
Alright, fairly straightforward. And that little hover there is what will kind of be explained actually fairly shortly with Hunter. So now, if you remember, if you saw from the first that small little section at the beginning, there was kind of like a puddle or like just a circular area that we couldn't go to, and also there was a bunch of water everywhere else. Well, we don't have the ability to actually swim, so we actually need to buy that from Moneybags here, and I forget the exact amount. I know we'll easily have enough, but I just want to collect everything just in case.
Sparks, the dragonfly following you around, is your health indicator, Spyro. The brighter he is, the more hit points you have.
And mainly that is due to me doing 100% in Glimmer. That helps out a bit with getting more gems, but even if you don't
sorry,
do that.
Spyro. I'd love to teach you how to swim underwater, but not as much as I'd love to take your treasure.
Oh right, yeah, that's right. we need 500. But yes, thankfully they have only one world, right? Yeah. They only have one world at the moment that we can go to. But let's do a little bit of training tips from
Hi,
Hunter.
Spyro. You look like you're pretty agile. Let's try putting it to a test. See if you can get up this first step. Press X and hold it down to get more hang time.
All right.
Okay, not bad. Now to make this next jump, you'll have to glide. Press X to jump, then press X again at the top of your jump to get the maximum glide distance.
Sometimes Hunter can actually get in your way while you're doing these, and that's pretty douchey.
Nice job! Now try to do a hover. Press X to jump, then press X again to glide. Then when you reach the end of your glide, press triangle to hover. Hovering will give you extra height and distance.
This is one of them. Because he likes to stay at that very... Okay. I officially fail at gaming. I cannot believe... Yeah. Thank you. Okay, so if I can actually do this correctly and not... There we go. But yeah, Hunter likes to stop during that last part, and that's why I like to hold up for a bit.
Now for the hardest leap of all. You'll have to give this one everything you've got. Get a walking start, jump, glide, and hover just before you get to the edge of the platform. Don't forget to press forward on the D-pad or analog stick when you hover.
There we go.
Wow, you're a pretty good athlete. If I hadn't lost my running shoes, I'd take you on for real. For now, here's an orb for your collection.
Now, why you didn't give it to me earlier and just say, hey, I don't need this, you need to save our world. I don't know why you didn't give it to me earlier, but you know what? That's fine. Yeah. Why did I think that I could do that? I think that even as a kid, I always tried to glide over there because I saw an orb. It's like, oh, hey, I'm sure I can get that. Nope. You can't. You can try your hardest, you cannot. So yeah, actually there's 2 worlds at the moment, and we need 500 in order to get our first ability. So we will actually head into Idle Springs. And another quick little change that they do in this is they give you sort of a, you know, an introduction sort of cutscene for each level. And that usually generally explains kind of the, you know, situation that, you know, who are the good guys, who are the bad guys. Pretty much what it does to just sum everything up. And there's also actually an ended cutscene for every time you just complete a level.
The idols we were carving have come to life. They've locked us out of our temples and stolen our food.
So these giant wood idols are not too bad. This one, unfortunately, we cannot do. We actually have to beat the level, I believe. But I know what happens anytime after you beat the level. So basically, yeah. Once we beat the level, then we can come back here and do this. And then also, you'll notice the treasure down there, as well as there's a hole there as well. So, and you will notice there's there's a lot of sections that have you need the different abilities in order to only to 100%. Obviously, there's no way that they would need you to. Well, actually, only for a few levels do you actually need an ability in order to actually, you know, complete it. But for the most part, everything's just you know, side stuff, and you know, if you want to actually go for 100%, you need it. And as that already, we already have 500, so we could actually even just go right now back to Moneybags and get the swim ability. But I'm kind of thinking, since we have to come back here anyways after beating the level, might as well kill 2 birds with 1 stone rather than have to come back here to do the underwater part and then come back here again after the level.
Those metal shields are making enemies invulnerable to your flame attack. If you press and hold the square button, you can defeat them with your charge attack.
Thank you for the obvious hint. But yeah, so there's gonna be a lot of moments that actually, now that I'm really thinking about it, there's gonna be quite a few moments that after I did an ability, I'm gonna have to go back to a certain level just to do like one part of it, so I can get a so I can, you know, get all the gems and to do 100%. And when it comes to that, which that'll be very later on in this actual playthrough, but when the time comes to do that, I'm kind of thinking I'll kind of almost go to the end of the game and then start doing the backtracking sections. Actually, there's two ways I can do that. Actually, I could do it that way, go from the end of the game all the way back.
To aim the camera left or right, press the L2 or R2 button.
Yeah. Yeah, so I need to do that, or I can do a second way where, like after every world, or you know, after I've completed every world, and at least have the ability, try to go back, but again, but I actually know that would actually take longer. So actually, once again, so here's another puzzle that we need to do after we've actually completed the level. And we're done it already, actually.
Spyro, you're pretty tough. If you ever want a permanent job, we've got a place for you here. For the moment, I want you to have this talisman.
Cool. So now he nicely gives us an exit door out, but there is still a bunch of stuff that we can do. But yeah, so I'm actually just thinking the second way I was thinking would actually take way longer than the first. So I think I will. Is there anything more? I don't believe there is. No. So that's what I think I'll do. Near the end of the game, or like right before a final boss, I'll start going back and collecting everything, because that way I'll have all the abilities. I'll have generally everything done. It'll just be cleanup time, pretty much. Now this next part, yeah, I'm pretty sure I can do this now. After climbing up on all of this, once we get down there, okay, make sure. Oh no, I want to go this way first. So I could drop off now if I wanted to the other side, because there was something over there. But actually, I need to get all this stuff first, because the beat's running up here a second time. Alright, and once we light this up, we'll notice that it goes off way in the distance and gets rid of that. Now, unfortunately, pretty much all the rest of it fell into the water. So once again, we have to do that at a later time. Right now, can I actually just go back this same way? I wonder, actually. Ah, nope. So unfortunately, can't just keep on jumping on those and get back to where I want to. Have to kind of unfortunately go through just that little section there. Alright, so when it comes to the next part here, I remember as a kid, this part always bugged me, just because, I mean, it's another super speed section just like the first game, but in ways it's easier, but in other ways it's kind of tricky. Actually, well, first of all, I just want to get the treasure out of the way. Pick up anything I need. Believe that's it. So we unfortunately need to get rid of this guy. Actually, let's talk to her.
It's fabulous to see you, Spyro. Now that the supercharged power-up is active, you can charge through the pedestals and send the dancing hula girls over here to help me.
Alright, so we need to help her. And when it comes to sort of like side objectives or side missions like this, you don't actually need to talk to the person to actually activate it. You can just go ahead and do it, which I think is really good. And there we go, we're done. But I remember as a kid, I can never get, I would always go too far to the left or too far to the right. And it took me a couple times when I played this, the first time I played this, to actually get that right.
Look at that. The hula girl's rain dance blew up that idol like a Roman candle. Now I can pursue that dancing career I've dreamed of. Take this orb. It could help you go places.
Alright, so now that gives us 5. And so what are we at right now? We are at 297 out of 400. And there's 1 orb left. Well, pretty much, guess what? The rest of the treasure, or rest of the orbs, is basically underwater. And the last orb, it has to do with this, and that underwater tunnel. So, we, of course, have to actually leave. So now suddenly the idols are just totally cool, and I guess they don't mind sharing rather than just taking everything for themselves. I'm sure there's probably like a lot of more in-depth sort of meanings behind probably some of these cutscenes, or maybe they're just supposed to be weird and funny for the sake of being weird and funny.
Hello there, Spyro. Would you like to learn to swim underwater? I suppose I could teach you for a small fee?
Yeah. Just give it to me.
Great. Okay. When you jump in the water, you can use the D-pad to move around the surface. Use square to dive underwater. When you are underwater, use X to paddle and square to charge.
Alright, so there we go. So we'll start seeing our gems start dwindling away from us. And actually, I think I'm going to go all the way back to the beginning here, because there was this section right here. So again, actually fairly straightforward underwater controls. So this is pretty much just square charges forward. I almost find very little use for X for paddling. I find very little use for it. But I mean, there are some spots that are kind of tight underwater sections. So in cases like that, it could be useful. But for the most part. So actually, where are we at? About 19 minutes, actually. So I think I'm actually going to leave it off here, because we've actually done everything that we can. Actually, well, except for Idle Springs. We could actually go back there. Since we don't need any of the other three other abilities that we need, we could actually go back there and do it. But again, I'll probably leave that off for almost like end game sort of things. Next episode we will head. Next episode, I will probably collect the rest of the treasure, and then head into the second world, Colossus. So for Spyro, we will see you all next time.